Time magnifies the margin between success and failure. I want all this tatted on me. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and another episode of VLOGMAS. I am going to say that at the intro of every single video this month, so get over it. Anyway, you guys haven't seen me in a few days. I believe the last time we spoke was Friday the 6th. Yeah, Friday the 6th. And we'll get into why I've been MIA, which I often do, but this time it was a little different, unfortunately. So we'll get into that. It's evening, it's late. And I just finished I'm pointing over there because my bathroom's over there. I finished my skincare routine. I got my robe on. I'm nice and toasty and I'm about to go to bed. But first, I want to continue reading our book. I haven't read it since I told you guys we were going to do this together this month. We're going to get through this entire, how many pages is this? 253. That is the end, and then the appendix starts. So I said we were going to get through this, and I meant it. I want to finish this book this month, so we got to get the ball rolling because we left off, and I got a little bookmark here. This is Bay did this for me. Isn't that so sweet? You are the love of my life. Oh, baby, you're my love. My life too. 20 years strong, baby. So yeah, where have I been? So Saturday, which was, I believe it was Saturday. If today's the 10th. Okay, so Saturday was the 7th. And the last you guys saw me was Friday. My mother. I don't want to get emotional because it's my mom. And just seeing her like that, it hurts. It hurts. Anyway, my mom fell. My mom took a tumble. Mom, when you watch this, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. My mother has vertigo really bad, and she can get dizzy and nauseous and, you know, lose her footing and whatnot. She fell. My mom took a tumble. She fell twice. Inside the house, on the carpet, thankfully. But she fell cleaning, as she usually does, cleaning and doing the most. And we were all there cleaning with her. Actually, she accidentally spilled Bay's drink, so we were all cleaning up. And we had all of the, like, I have these little glass tables that are, or table trays, glass table trays that are on top of my coffee table, which you guys have seen it. It's a chest. So we were putting that on the ground, getting everything out the way, cleaning everything up. She was in the middle of vacuuming. The cat's toys and scratchers were on the floor everywhere. And she was trying to relocate the glass tray, and took a tumble, and I mean bad. So my mom's in her 60s, and you know, the older you get, the more brittle your bones are, and unfortunately the damage was catastrophic. So she fell, and she tried to, I don't know why, mother, I don't know why you did this, but she turns last minute and tries to catch herself with her elbow, and she hits her elbow. That's the point of impact. And then her whole damn shoulder popped out. She dislocated her shoulder. The whole thing came out, and she broke it in 3 places. Like, it's real bad. Arm just hanging there. Oh, it was really bad. And at first I didn't believe, I will say, and I am so sorry, mommy. I'm so sorry. I didn't believe that. I was like, you know, she didn't break it. Like, dislocated it, sure, but I doubt you broke it. I mean, she's 5'4". It's a 5-foot fall on carpet. Like, how do you break something? I can see if she was 90, nigga, but 60s? Like, you're in your 60s. And my mom is really flexible. She dances. That's where I get it from. Yoga, all of that. She's very limber. So I was just very shocked that she ended up breaking her shoulder in 3 places. I mean, the x-rays were horrendous. Anyway, to make a long story short, we ended up going to urgent care. Just wanted to confirm what the damage was and whether or not they were going to be able to help us. So we go to urgent care. They confirm it's dislocated. Say nothing else. They literally say nothing else other than you got to go to the ER. So we go to the closest ER, and yeah, no. Walked right up in that emergency room, and I was like, no, not having it. Wait was like 4 hours, and the room was packed with ill and injured people, and I'm just like, how are you moving this slow? And it's just unfortunate. It's a reminder. Going to the hospital is a clear reminder that, you know, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. They ain't gonna treat you like shit. Shout out to the nurses that actually care, the doctors that actually care and don't treat you like a number. Shout out to you guys. Because it's sickening. It's quite sickening to go into a hospital that is in a poor neighborhood or a poor area of town. And it's not like I live in the ghetto and in the absolute poor. It's just in close proximity. But if you go to another area that is mostly middle and upper middle class, you see a significant difference. And it should not be that way. It's just, that's this world. This world is a business, and it's gross. It's gross. But anyway, makes you wish you were in the UK. That's all I can say. Anyway, so we went there, and I was like, absolutely not. She was suffering, and several people were suffering. And I'm like, you must have lost your rabbit ass mind, speaking to the nurse. And bye. We go to the hospital that Bay and I frequent, which is in a nicer area, richer area. So we go there, in less than an hour, she's in. So she had to get surgery, nuts and bolts. They put it back in location, sedated her and put it back in her socket. And then they did surgery the next morning. She is in quite some pain. Now, she had a blocker in, and they had her on morphine, and she was doing great. She was doing great. Little dizzy, little nauseous, but she was doing great. And then that blocker wore off, and she was ready to kill someone. The pain set in, and she's just like, oh no. I mean, she's had a fever up to 107. And at first her blood pressure was so low, like they couldn't keep her blood pressure up. And for that reason, today is Tuesday the 10th, and she's still in the hospital. So, and it's not looking like she's getting out. She might get out before the end of the week, but as it stands, she's sitting put there. It's just really hard to see her like that. And mommy, when you watch this, I cannot wait for you to come home. I just want you in your bed with Maddie, Maddox, my cat. He loves her. And so you can be comfortable, and we can wait on you hand and foot. Because let me tell you, it's going to be 12 years a slave when mama gets home. Dare I give her a bell? I think not. But I'm home all day. So this will fall on me, and that's fine. That's fine. I just want her comfortable and not in pain, and just, you know, so she can lick her wounds and heal in a comfortable space. You don't miss something till it's gone. You don't realize how much someone plays a part in your life until they're gone, until they're missing for some reason. It's just easy to take someone for granted. And I just felt like shit, and I felt like shit that she felt like shit. And I love you, Mom, and you're going to recover and come back better than ever with your plates and your nuts and your bolts. You're gonna be okay, and that's all that matters. So yeah, just sad and unfortunate news, but it took up all my brain capacity because it just made me a little scared for her, for us, for, you know, I love my mom, so it was hard. Anyway, so I checked out. I quite literally checked out. At that point, it was just about breathe, you know, process, do what matters. And not that y'all don't matter, but at the time I was just like, I'm going to deal with my shit. I'm going to deal with my family. I'm going to just deal with this, and then I'll talk to you guys later. So it is what it is. So now at this point, I've missed 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days, Tuesday, because this is not going to get posted until tomorrow. So so that puts us at 27, 28, 29, 30. That puts us at December 30th. And at this point, I might as well just go all the way up to New Year's, which we have no plans for. Bae's birthday is on the 6th, so right smack at the beginning of the new year. And I'm making plans for that now. But for the new year, I don't think we're going to do anything. So I might just come on and kick it with y'all. Bring in the new year with y'all. So let's get into it. So this video isn't an hour long, and I'm stressed and pressed over editing. Let's get into it. I am enjoying this book so far, even though I've only read 7 pages. and it's the author's intro. God, after missing 4 days, I feel like we would be like halfway through this book right now. So let's get started, because she wants to go to bed. My belly is full. I'm nice and warm, girl. I got the heating pack. Yeah. I got the heating pack right here, and I am toasty. And yeah, buddy. We're starting off right here. Page 7, How and Why I Wrote This Book. In November 2012, I began publishing articles at jamesclear.com. For years, I had been keeping notes about my personal experiments with habits and I was finally ready to share some of them publicly. I began by publishing a new article every Monday and Thursday. Within a few months, this simple writing habit led to my first 1,000 email subscribers. And by the end of 2013, 1,000, girl. Yeah, I can't wait to get 1,000 subscribers. I can't wait. And by the end of 2013, that number had grown to more than 30,000 people. Nice. In 2014, my email list expanded to over 100,000 subscribers, which made it one of the fastest growing newsletters on the internet. I felt like an imposter when I began writing 2 years earlier, but now I was becoming known as an expert on habits, a new label that excited me, but also felt uncomfortable. I had never considered myself a master of the topic, but rather someone who was experimenting alongside my readers. In 2015, I reached 200,000 email subscribers and signed a book deal with Penguin Random House to begin writing the book you are reading now. Okay. As my audience grew, so did my business opportunities. I was increasingly asked to speak at top companies about the science of habit formation, behavior change, and continuous improvement. I found myself delivering keynote speeches at conferences in the United States and Europe. In 2016, my articles began to appear regularly in major publications like Time, Entrepreneur, and Forbes. Incredibly, my writing was read by over 8 million people that year. Coaches in the NFL, NBA, and MLB began reading my book and sharing it with their teams. Interesting. At the start of 2017, I launched the Habits Academy, which became the premier training. Look how this man is pivoting pivoting and just a whole business, and good for you. At the start of 2017, I launched the Habits Academy, which became the premier training platform for organizations and individuals interested in building better habits in life and work. Fortune 500 companies and growing startups began to enroll their leaders and train their staff. Really, in total, over 10,000 leaders, managers, coaches, and teachers have graduated from the Habits Academy, and my work with them has taught me an incredible amount about what it takes to make habits work in the real world. As I put the finishing touches on this book in 2018, JamesClear.com is receiving millions of visitors per month, and nearly 5,000 people subscribe to my weekly email newsletter, a number that is so far beyond my expectations when I began that I'm not even sure what to think of it. Can I get to that point? That's the point, but it's going to take that work. It's going to take that work and that consistent posting. How this book will benefit you. The entrepreneur and investor Naval, probably not Naval, Naval Ravigant, girl, I don't know. We just gonna say that. Naval Ravigant has said, to write a great book, you must first become the book. That sounds like some Jedi. I originally learned about the ideas mentioned here because I had to live them. I had to rely on small habits to rebound from my injury, to get stronger in the gym, to perform at a high level on the field, to become a writer, to build a successful business, and simply to develop into a responsible adult. Yeah. Small habits help me fulfill my potential, and since you picked up this book, I'm guessing you'd like to fulfill yours as well. Yes, sir. In the pages, like literally, help me help myself because she's crazy. In the pages that follow, I will share a step-by-step plan for building better habits, not for days or weeks before a lifetime. While science supports everything I've written, okay, this book is not an academic research paper. It's an operating manual. You'll find wisdom and practical advice front and center as I explain the science of how to create and change your habits in a way that is easy to understand and apply. The fields I draw on, biology, neuroscience, philosophy, psychology, and more, have been around for many years. Yeah. What I offer you is a synthesis of the best ideas smart people figured out a long time ago, as well as the most compelling discoveries scientists have made recently. My contribution, I hope, is to find the ideas that matter most and connect them in a way that is highly actionable. Anything wise in these pages you should credit to the many experts who preceded me. Anything foolish, assume it is my error. Well said. The backbone of this book is my 4-step model of habits: cue, craving, response, and reward. Interesting. And the 4 laws of behavior change that evolve out of these steps. Readers with a psychology background may recognize some of these terms from operant conditioning, which was first proposed as stimulus response reward by B.F. Skinner in the 1930s and has been popularized more recently as cue, routine, reward in The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg? Girl, I don't know. Behavioral scientists like Skinner realized that if you offered the right reward or punishment, you could get people to act in a certain way. Yeah. But while Skinner's model did an excellent job of explaining how external stimuli influenced our habits, it lacked a good explanation for how our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs impact our behavior. Internal states, our moods, and emotions matter too, for sure. And I cannot stand people that try to negate that fact. In recent decades, scientists have begun to determine the connection between our thoughts, feelings, and behavior. This research will also be covered in these pages. Okay, cool. In total, the framework I offer is an integrated model of the cognitive and behavioral sciences. I believe it is one of the first models of human behavior to accurately account for both the influence of external stimuli and internal emotions on our habits. While some of the language may be familiar, I am confident that the details and the applications of the 4 laws of behavior change will offer a new way to think about your habits. Human behavior is always changing, situation to situation, moment to moment, second to second. But this book is about what doesn't change. Nicely put. It's about the fundamentals of human behavior, the lasting principles you can rely on year after year, the ideas you can build a business around, build a family around, build a life around. Nice. There is no one right way to create better habits, but this book describes the best way I know, an approach that will be effective regardless of where you start or what you're trying to change. The strategies I cover will be relevant to anyone looking for a step-by-step system for improvement, whether your goals center on health, money, productivity, relationships, or all of the above. As long as human behavior is involved, this book will be your guide. Oh, I'm excited. Nice. I love how he explained that. So that was the introduction, my story, meaning the author James Clear's story. And that was very interesting. And I'm glad I read that part. Oh, this eye cream. This eye cream. I don't know if I'm going to keep using this one. I forgot what it's called, but Bae brought it home from Costco a couple months ago, and it's making my eyes like puffy and like sore a little bit because it's migrating. Why tiny changes make a big difference. So we are finally starting the book. Okay. How long is this chapter? Because the way my time and attention works, the very thing he's trying to teach me to get out of, 30 pages. All right, well, we may not make it through this chapter. How many chapters are in this book? Essentially, because there's a conclusion. There's 21 chapters. Oh, I'm gonna have to read this fast. We might carry this on. Maybe one of the days I'll read a whole chapter, but this might carry on until January, because girl, ain't nobody finna sit here and read 30 pages. My battery already running out. Like, All right, chapter 1, The Surprising Power of Atomic Habits. The fate of British cycling changed one day in 2003. British cycling, where are we going, sir? Where are we going? Okay, the organization, which was the governing body of professional cycling in Great Britain, had recently hired Dave Brailsford as its new performance director. At the time, professional cyclists in Great Britain had endured nearly 100 years of mediocrity. That's hilarious. Since 1908, British riders had won just a single gold medal at the Olympic Games, and they had fared even worse in cycling's biggest race, the Tour de France. In 110 years, no British cyclist had ever won the event. This is interesting. I've never knew that. In fact, the performance of British riders had been so underwhelming that one of the top bike manufacturers in Europe refused to sell bikes to the team because they were afraid that it would hurt sales if other professionals saw the Brits using their gear. Oh, wow. That is hilarious. Brailsford had been hired to put British cycling on a new trajectory. What made him different from previous coaches was his relentless commitment to a strategy that he referred to as the aggregation of marginal gains. Interesting. Which is the philosophy of searching for a tiny margin of improvement in everything you do. Okay, Brailsford said the whole principle came from the idea that if you broke down everything you could think of that goes into riding a bike and then improve it by 1%, you will get a significant increase when you put them all together. Okay, yeah, the 1% improvement I get. I applied that logic with working out. Just 1% better every day adds up. So I get that. Brailsford and his coaches began by making small adjustments you might expect from a professional cycling team. They redesigned the bike seats to make them more comfortable and rubbed alcohol on the tires for a better grip. They asked riders to wear electrically heated overshorts to maintain ideal muscle temperature while riding and used biofeedback sensors to monitor how each athlete responded to a particular workout. The team tested various fabrics in a wind tunnel and had their outdoor riders switch to indoor racing suits, which proved to be lighter and more aerodynamic. But they didn't stop there. Brailsford and his team continued to find 1% improvements in overlooked and unexpected areas. They tested different types of massage gels to see which one had the fastest muscle recovery. They hired a surgeon to teach each rider the best way to wash their hands to reduce the chances of catching a cold. Wow, the details matter. They determined the type of pillow and mattress that led to the best night's sleep for each rider. Very important. They even painted the inside of the team truck white, which helped them spot little bits of dust that would normally slip by unnoticed, but could degrade the performance of the finely tuned bikes. Wow. As these and hundreds of other small improvements accumulated, the results came faster than anyone could have imagined. Wow. Just 5 years after Brailsford took over, the British cycling team dominated the road and track cycling events at the 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing. Oh, wow. Where they won an outstanding 60% of the gold medals available. Wow. I did not know that. I remember watching the games, but I wasn't particularly focused on cycling, so had no idea. 4 years later, when the Olympic Games came to London, the Brits raised the bar as they set 9 Olympic records and 7 world records. Wow. That same year, Bradley Wiggins became the first British cyclist to win the Tour de France. The next year, his teammate Chris Froome won the race, and he would go on to win again in 2015, 2016, and 2017, giving the British team 5 Tour de France victories in 6 years. Cool. During the 10-year span from 2007 to 2017, British cyclists won 178 world championships and 66 Olympic, Paralympic gold medals, and captured 5 Tour de France victories in what is widely regarded as the most successful run in cycling history. How does this happen? How does a team of previously ordinary athletes transform into world champions with tiny changes that at first glance would seem to make a modest difference at best? Why do small improvements accumulate into such remarkable results, and how can you replicate this approach in your own life? Yes, sir. Tell me how, please. Okay, so next section is why small habits make a big difference. It is so easy to overestimate the importance of one defining moment and underestimate the value of making small improvements on a daily basis. Too often we convince ourselves that massive success requires massive action. That is so me. All or nothing, which is why you just throw your hands up when you fail. Whether it's losing weight, building a business, writing a book, winning a championship, or achieving any other goal, we put pressure on ourselves to make some earth-shattering improvement that everyone will talk about. Very true. Meanwhile, improving by 1% isn't particularly notable. Sometimes it isn't even noticeable, but it can be far more meaningful, especially in the long run. The difference a tiny improvement can make over time is astounding. Here's how the math works out. If you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. Conversely, if you get 1% worse each day for 1 year, you'll decline nearly to 0. What starts as a small win or minor setback accumulates into something much more. Who you telling? Who you telling? Okay, so 1% better every day. It gives you this little graph. Let me see. Is that focused? Please say yes. Yeah. So figure 1. Yeah, the effects of small habits compound over time. For example, you can get just 1% better each day. You'll end up with results that are nearly 37 times better after 1 year. All right. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. That's a quote. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Say it again. The same way that money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them. They seem to make little difference on any given day, and yet the impact they deliver over the months and years can be enormous. It is only when looking back 2, 5, or perhaps 10 years later that the value of good habits and the cost of bad ones becomes strikingly apparent. Yeah. This can be a difficult concept to appreciate in daily life. We often dismiss small changes because they don't seem to matter very much in the moment. True. If you save a little money now, you're still not a millionaire. If you go to the gym 3 days in a row, you're still out of shape. If you study Mandarin for an hour tonight, you still haven't learned the language. We make a few changes, but the results never seem to come quickly, and so we slide back into our previous routines. That's me in a nutshell. Okay. Revelations. Fuck this eye cream, I am just sick of it. Unfortunately, the slow pace of transformation also makes it easier to let a bad habit slide. If you eat an unhealthy meal today, the scale doesn't move much. If you work late tonight and ignore your family, they will forgive you. If you procrastinate and put your project off until tomorrow, there will usually be time to finish it later. A single decision is easy to dismiss, but when we repeat 1% errors day after day by replicating poor decisions, duplicating tiny mistakes, and rationalizing little excuses, our small choices compound into toxic results. It's the accumulation of many missteps, a 1% decline here and there that eventually leads to a problem. The impact created by a change in your habits is similar to the effect of shifting the routine of an airplane shifting the route of an airplane by just a few degrees. Imagine you are flying from Los Angeles to New York City. If a pilot leaving from LAX adjusts the heading just 3.5 degrees south, you will land in Washington, D.C. instead of New York. Such a small change is barely noticeable at takeoff. The nose of the airplane moves just a few feet, but when magnified across the entire United States, you end up hundreds of miles apart. Yes. Similarly, a slight change in your daily habits can guide your life to a very different destination. Making a choice that is 1% better or 1% worse seems insignificant in the moment, but over the span of moments that make up a lifetime, these choices determine the difference between who you are and who you could be. Yes. Success is the product of daily habits, not once in a lifetime transformations. Whew, sing it. That said, it doesn't matter how successful or unsuccessful you are right now. What matters is whether your habits are putting you on the path towards success. You should be far more concerned with your current trajectory than with your current results. If you're a millionaire, but you spend more than you earn each month, then you're on a bad trajectory. If your spending habits don't change, it's not going to end well. Conversely, if you're broke, but you save a little bit every month, then you're on the path toward financial freedom, even if you're moving slower than you'd like. Ain't that the truth? Your outcomes are a lagging measure of your habits. Your net worth is a lagging measure of your financial habits. Your weight is a lagging measure of your eating habits. Your knowledge is a lagging measure of your learning habits. Your clutter is a lagging measure of your cleaning habits. Blah, 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 blah. You get what you repeat. Yeah, for sure. If you want to predict where you'll end up in life, all you have to do is follow the curve of tiny gains or tiny losses and see how your daily choices will compound 10 or 20 years down the line. Are you spending less than you earn each month? Are you making it to the gym each week? Are you reading books and learning something new each day? Well, I am now. Tiny battles like these are the ones that will define your future self. Time magnifies the margin between success and failure. I want all this tatted on me. What was that previous one? Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. That one. And time magnifies the margin between success and failure. Those are powerful statements. It will multiply whatever you feed it. Good habits make time your ally. Bad habits make time your enemy. Habits are a double-edged sword. Bad habits can cut you down just as easily as good habits can build you up, which is why understanding the details is crucial. You need to know how habits work and how to design them to your liking so you can avoid the dangerous half of the blade. Okay, I'm going to stop here. That was a great start. I've already received quite a bit. Those were some powerful, powerful statements. Yeah, enjoyed that thoroughly. It looks like we're going to pick up on page 19. Your habits can compound for you or against you. So we'll pick up here, page 19, probably tomorrow. And yeah, I'm happy I was able to make my way back to the book because it's a struggle for me. But we got to start implementing these good habits because, yeah. I hope you are having a great day or have had a great day, a great week, a great month. I just hope things are going well for y'all. Let me know what you've been up to. Let me know what you're doing. Talk to me, KiNGPiNs. What y'all going through? Did any one of y'all mamas fall? Not that I wish that on anyone, but what y'all been going through lately? Good and bad. Talk to your girl. That's where all the love is. That's where we spend the time. So, you know what I need to do? Y'all see that? Y'all gotta see it. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. Y'all see these eyebrows? Yeah. I gotta get at these because I am a hairy beast. And it's only a matter of maybe another month before this completely fills in and I have a unibrow. She is a hairy beast. Anyway, thanks for the nightcap, guys. The very long nightcap. I am going to take my butt to bed after I finish this right here. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay tuned for another episode. Bye, guys.
Santa, very Merry Christmas and a happy new year.